found some good 2-base timings, baby.
Yeah, well, that's basically what it is, man, is that Protoss has such strong 2-base timings that, like, you have to really prepare for them and really scout like crazy. And if they end up not going for a 2-base timing, then they're way ahead in the macro game because they were like, chrono boosting probes. You thought I was chrono boosting out Colossus or something, or Blink or +2, but no, I was just chrono boosting probes. Now it's 60 probes on 2-base to your 40 probes on your 40 drones on 2-base, and I'm going to be able to just expand and win.
Yeah, I mean, and PvZ in general, I just want to say, is a very volatile matchup. Like, you're right, Protoss definitely has the 2-base timings. We have 1-base timings as well. They're super strong. At the same time, though, if you don't scout a Zerg correctly, they can hit you with some Roach timings. There are definitely a lot of different options the Zerg players have as well, and we do see the extractor trick from T-Gun. Definitely a Korean thing. You don't see many North American Zergs do it. It's one of those weird things. They've often debated it on the GSL, which is better. It's weird that Koreans choose the extractor trick where other players don't. But, yeah, PvZ, definitely a game of weird timings on both ends. Like, if you don't prepare for Mutalisks and suddenly there are Mutas in your base, you got to go home. At the same time, if you don't get ready for one of those 2-base all-ins and it's knocking at your door, you're done. Sorry,
you really are, and it also comes down a lot to that proxy pylon, whether you get it down or not. And that's why we see here T-Gun going for that 14-14 play. He's going to get metabolic boost up quickly so that he can scout for said proxy pylons.
Yep. You know, Speedling Expand, probably the safest of all builds. This is really safe against any sort of proxy gate. You obviously can defend any sort of cannon rush. The problem with Speedling Expand is that this Nexus can go down, and if you time it correctly as a Protoss player, you can get your Forge and your Cannon and your Gateway up in time to deal with any Speedlings coming to harass you. So that hurts a little bit for a Zerg player, but, you know, I'm sure he knows what he's doing and he can recover from this.
Sorry, I was trolling the chat there for a second.
No, they probably deserve it.
You're absolutely right, though. And there it goes up, the Forge coming up. And, I mean, the Zerglings are only just on the way now, so the Cannon's going to be done way in time.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he could even probably afford to drop his Gateway before Cannon. Obviously going for the safer route. Better safe than sorry in a tournament game. But if you time it out correctly, you can get that Gateway started. And, you know, starting your Gateway before the Cannon speeds up all of your timings by, like, 20 or 30 seconds because you get the Cyber Core earlier, which gets the Warp Gate earlier, which cascades into quicker 6-gate.
I love that train of thought.
It's true. It's so true. And sometimes that can be the difference. Like, if you walk up the ramp and force field the main ramp before the Roaches get down the ramp, that's the difference between a 6-gate winning and losing.
It really is, man. And on Shakur's Plateau, it's so easy to do. It barely even takes any skill bonk.
Whoa, let's not go that far. I do love T-Gun's little Zergling dance here, and he's actually pushing a ton of Zerglings here. He is not droning at all, so he's definitely going to put on some pressure. Super quick layer as well. Are we going to see... Look at where this Overlord is positioned. Yep, going to be a Nidus Worm. This Overlord is going to drop one. And man, this hurts if you are not scouting your entire base.
It really does, and right now we do see that Niromod, or rather DaisyPrime, does put a pylon down, and look at that, T-Gun, he sees that he's just going to move his Overlord a tiny bit, and I mean, I think this Nidus is going to go down and work for sure. Yeah. There's almost nothing here that Niromod can do, and his Cybernetics Core is only just finishing, so he's not even going to have like a Stargate up or anything like that to get out a Void Array, and his, of course, Stalkers aren't even going to be that good against these Speedlings. So here he comes. Oh my god, he's got a probe there just in the nick of time, but the Nidus Worm is going down behind in the natural instead.
Wow. This is the fastest possible Nidus Worm you could have. He's even sending the Queen. He didn't even get a Queen for Injects. He just now got his first Queen when the Nidus Worm was started. He never even got Zergling speed to get the quicker layer. There's only a Sentry out, which could force field the ramp. But I'll miss force field on the ramp, and these slow lings are going to be devastating. Look at this. Also following it up with a Baneling's Nest. So these Zerglings are quickly going to become Banelings. Queen in the main, and Niromod is in trouble.
Yeah, and he's just got more and more Zerglings. He set his rally points directly into the Nidus Worm here, as we can see from these two hatcheries, and that's it. Daisy Prime gives the GG. T-Gun is the first person we see take a game off of him here tonight.
So dirty. I love it. I love it. It's such a quick Nidus Worm. I would never expect a Nidus that fast. I mean, T-Gun gives up so much for it. Gives up Zergling speed. Gives up his first and second Queen just to get that out a bit faster. Man, I don't think you could have a quicker Nidus Worm.
No, you really can't. Like, I mean, you even saw me say, like, I thought he had Metabolic Boost. He didn't even get Metabolic Boost. Like, that is a crazy fast lair. And I was a little bit surprised. I was like, whoa, he's doing a Nidus off of one gas. But if you skip Metabolic Boost, you can afford it. Pretty awesome play there from T-Gun. And, I mean, we saw Niromod. He sent his probe to patrol just as the Nidus could go down, even with this ultra-fast timing. But Niromod found that little corner where there was nothing spotting, and he got it off, man. Pretty sexy. Whoa, what do you think about Daisy Prime's choice here of a map?
Yeah, interesting. T-Gun saying, sorry, bad Z-map. A couple other things I want to point out first about that Nidus Worm. The other thing, it's so fast that you can't make a Stargate and a Phoenix in time to scout it in the base. Your only hope is to find it in your base when it's put down. Like a normal time Nidus Worm, if you go Stargate first, you might be able to fly into the base and see it. Might be able to get an observer in the base. But with a Nidus Worm that fast, there's no way to scout it. And that's what makes it so dirty.
Yeah, and that's why he was patrolling those Zerglings at the front of his ramp there to make sure that no probe would sneak up into his base and see the crazy fast lair. But anyways, guys, that was just game one. We've got at least one more game here coming your way. It's going to be on Tal'Darim Altar here between T-Gun and Daisy Prime. Don't go anywhere. We got some more great Playhem daily action coming your way.
Yeah, and Tal'Darim Altar. Sorry, I didn't even answer your question.
Tal'Darim's actually a fantastic... I think it's actually a really great map for Protoss because Broodlords are just so slow that if you can force late game, then you're in a decent position.
Protoss OP, mama.
That was like, I'm doing legit objective analysis.
No, and I'm just mocking you.
I know, so whatever. Obviously, you don't have anything legitimate to say, so you gotta resort to trolling.
Here it comes. Now, it's a good Protoss map for a couple of reasons. Two base timings, so strong on this map. Secondly, rocks at the third make it harder for a Zerg to get a really easily defendable third. A couple things I will say is Nidus Worm very good on this map. Also, Mutalisks very good on this map in PvZ because there's a lot of area to cover between your main and your natural and eventually your third. So I think both races have some options. Definitely the size of the map can hurt when you get to that Broodlord Infestor late game. I do agree with you. But, you know, I don't think this is nearly as imbalanced as, say, Shakuras Plateau. Zerg definitely has a lot of options on this map.
Definitely.
How you like that analysis?
It was semi-legitimate. Well done, Bonk.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, man, my allergies are hitting me, Bonk, so I'm going to let you take this one away so I can go get myself some Kleenex.
Go right ahead, my friend. I would love to take this away. Although I hope you give me vision before...
Oh, I am a legitimate pro, and you do have that vision, which somehow went into the crazy corner, but whatever, Bonk. Don't worry, I'm not judging.
All good. All good. I was spazzing out on the screen there. All right, guys. This is the semifinals, I believe. Someone can correct me once Katu gets back. But we do have Niromod, who has been confirmed to be Daisy Prime, spawning as the red Protoss in the bottom right-hand position. Daisy Prime, Protoss I don't know a lot about. He's a Code B player in Korea, fighting for that Code A spot like so many great players in Korea are. So, you know, great player, someone in the future we may see in Code A. His opponent, FXO T-Gun, who is currently part of Team Gosu, so I shouldn't be saying FXO, but it is in the name, it's in the type, so I can't help it. He is spawning as the pink Zerg in the top right-hand corner. And a couple things to note. First game, we saw that crazy early Nidus Worm be super effective. And, you know, T-Gun did that in response to the Forge Fast Expand. It's interesting to note that Niromod picks another Forge Fast Expand map after being all in like that. I mean, as a Protoss, I would be pretty horrified of another all-in. Niromod, Daisy definitely knows his stuff, so, you know, I think he's going to be able to deal with it. And we do see, this is actually so huge, guys. Getting this probe scout, I mean, it's just luck, whether you go left or up when you scout. And because Niromod went up, he's going to be able to get into the Zerg's base. See, there's no 6 pool. This is going to signal him to be able to drop this Nexus instead of having to get that early Forge. So, huge thing here. One of the, I would say actually, the most unbalanced part of Tal'Darim is just the scouting. Because if you scout this way, and T-Gun is 6-pooling you, and you don't send a second probe out, it can be an auto loss. Even with the second probe, it's still hard to deal with. But if you scout super early, you can get a huge read on the Zerg player and take a great early advantage. So, yeah, good for Daisy here. Meanwhile, we see T-Gun opening exactly the same, and this is also what made the Nidus Worm so dangerous. This was the first and last scout Daisy got in the previous game. He was not able to get back into the base after this, and we do see Daisy being very smart. I'm going to switch between calling him Niromod and Daisy, because I can't help it. He is going to block this expansion with his probe for as long as possible. You definitely want to do this as a Protoss player. Even if you delay it 5-10 seconds, it's great. This also gives him a chance to get this cannon up and get this gateway before a cannon. So, I mean, the Zerglings have to deal with this probe. If they don't deal with the probe, their expansion is going to be blocked. Because they're dealing with the probe, they can't come and run by the natural. This gives Niromod, Daisy, you know, he gives him more time. He can get this photon cannon. He doesn't have to babysit his wall the entire time. And I love the fact that Niromod is sending out the second scout. But, ooh, that Overlord actually catches it. So T-Gun's going to know there is a probe on the map. And, oh, look at this. T-Gun does not want to play a macro game tonight, guys. He is dropping a super early Baneling's Nest. He is going to go for such a Baneling bust. And it's really going to depend if Niromod Daisy can get his probe to scout the base in time. He's definitely taking the long way around. He needs to get in there immediately. He doesn't even know a hatchery hasn't been made. Oh, this could be devastating. He does get a decent wall off with the Cybernetics core, but he has one cannon, and the Baneling Nest is done, ladies and gentlemen. He is chrono boosting out a Zealot, but he needs more cannons. He needs pylons to complete this wall. This is such a brutal timing. Oh man, I really don't think Niromod can hold this. We will have to wait and see. He will have... Oh, he does know now. As he gets his probe in, but is it too late? Starting a second cannon, a second pylon, and a second gateway. This is huge, starting the second pylon. Because if this pylon gets busted, everything's done. But actually, you know, looking at this, and with T-Gun delaying, this wall is getting more and more sound. The weakest point was probably, yep, the Forge, and reinforcing with the pylon here. Also getting a photon cannon behind. Oh man, here comes T-Gun though. He's going to go for the bust. Oh, a ton of damage. He can't get through, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. But this probe, that was one of the most beautiful plays I've ever seen. And T-Gun GG's instantly. Niromod puts his probe on hold position in the one small gap. As soon as he realizes the wall is broken, he drops a second pylon. That's absolutely what he needed to do. If he had not done it exactly like that, he would have lost. If he had had the probe sitting behind the wall waiting to put the pylon down, he would have lost. Great play by Daisy. Takes a very quick game off of T-Gun. I don't even think my partner is back, so we are actually going to have to wait for him. Man, T-Gun not wanting to play the macro game. But, you know, T-Gun, because he won the first game, he does get the map choice in the second game. And I assume he's going to pick something like Shattered Temple, something like Metalopolis, where Forge fast expands are a lot harder. And it hurts. It hurts as Daisy to lose a game like that. It doesn't only hurt him in this game, it's going to hurt him in the next game, because now he's been all in twice. One time he held it, one time he didn't, but you know he's going to be paranoid. And look at this. Like I said, Metalopolis, a great choice. I cannot imagine Daisy going for a Forge Fast Expand on this map. Almost no way. I mean, yes, you can do it. Yes, Naniwa tried to do it. But you already know... Sorry. You already know your opponent likes to all in you, and this is a hard map to hold a Forge Fast Expand on. I don't know. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. If Sorry. People distracting me. I don't know if Daisy is going to risk another Forge Passage Man.